Welcome to the third part of our Rivers of London episode, Waters of Leith. This case file is entitled The Stone of Scone. I am your GM, Hedge, and we are back with our three intrepid investigators who are standing on a village green in a lovely small town just outside of Perth called Scone. Nate, you are reliving a moment. You reached to grab Rhodri, afraid that he would grab the stone. His shield knocked you back. You were down on the ground. You briefly considered reaching for your gun, as crazy as that sounds. And you did that because the CIA gave you one very, very important task, which was, under no circumstances, was Rhodri Cadwallader to be the one who recovered the stone. And then you stared as he walked forward and picked up the young genii locorum, not the stone. And so you're staring now at this stone. No one has touched it yet. It is sitting in the middle of this village green. Isabelle and Rhodri are nearby, fussing over the young boy. What is going through your head at this point in time?
Seems like the two of them have an existing relationship with the child. The only Rivers and such he's met are full-grown adults, so he's willing to let them deal with Mile. I think he's going to walk over, guard the stone for now, but not actually touching.
And for comical purposes, I think it's that moment that Rhodri's going to walk back over to the stone.
Dixie, would you stay there with Mile and you make sure that he's all nice and, he's a young lad? Right, let's have a little look here then.
I'm not going to touch you. I am not going to set off another one of those blasts. I'm really getting tired of that, sir. But I need you to listen to me.
Right.
Your partner has to be the one to recover the stone. I don't know why. I don't know what that affects.
You're saying Isabelle's the only one who can pick up a stone?
I don't know how things work on this side of the Atlantic, but back home, sometimes we're given instructions without all the details. The boy, you're more than welcome to handle however you see fit, but they are absolutely adamant she's responsible for the stone.
Nathan, you know this sounds bloody ludicrous, don't you? What, can you see the bloody future or something, can you?
I know what I'm told to expect, and it comes true with a remarkable degree of improbability sometimes.
So are you seriously telling me there's something out there in America that's seeing this future and telling you and saying, you can do this and you can't do that?
Think about what we do for a living. If we were going to be scared off by what sounds nonsensical, we wouldn't be in these lines of work.
Right, well, it's a lot to get your head round, this idea that something is seeing in the future, there's a fate here. You know what I mean?
I try very hard not to think about that. It gives me a migraine.
Right, well, dealing with, the future and what might happen and what might not happen, that's...
All right, then don't think of it as the future. Think of it as people who are in a position to know more of what's going on than we do, know more of what's going on than we do.
Oh, so every bloody day then, yes? Right. DC Wood?
Yes, sir?
You might be needed for a minute here.
Oh, yes, of course, sir.
Miles, I tell you what, I'll come over. Just maybe a step away from Miles and a few steps away from Nathan. I'll just kind of quietly talk to Isabelle where both of the other two can probably hear anyway.
Nathan relaxes a little bit as you step away.
Isabelle, that Yank, he's saying that only you can go and pick up the stone. Does that mean anything to you?
It means I'm picking up a stone, sir?
Well, I mean, very, very good, but I mean, you're not looking at that stone and seeing anything or getting the heebie-jeebies or nothing, are you?
That's a good point, actually. GM, if we do sense Vestigia, are we getting anything from the stone of Scone?
Sense Vestigia.
Oh, which set of dice will we use tonight? Blue ones or the turquoise ones, do we think?
Oh.
The blue one's out of the jail.
Yeah, the blue ones are out of the jail now.
Let's go with the jailbreakers.
Shall we test them? See if they're going straight back in again. Oh, no, that's a success.
You are definitely getting all of the things that you would normally expect on something that has been touched by Patel and Mile. So you're getting the stroke of the pen, you're getting soap, you're getting the anger and the violence and the cobblestones. All of the things you're so used to feeling that you've been following around for weeks now. That might just be because they've been around these people and magic has been cast in their presence. You don't know enough about magic to be able to see anything more than that.
Right. Don't suppose you've got any safety gloves in the car, sir?
Oh, well, we'll have some crime scene gloves,
I've got some of those myself. I just wondered if you had anything a bit more heavy duty, just a bit more protection for hefting stones around.
I don't think so. Sorry, Isabelle.
Right, so she'll go into a little pouch, get her night trial gloves on.
Nathan's going to take off his suit jacket and offer that to you as potentially...
Oh, it was a good thing to wrap it in.
Rhodri will really, really late kind of go, oh, do you want my... Oh, right, I see you've got his jacket. That's all right then.
I'm just going to give you some sweets for Miles, sir. Here's these fruit polos. He likes those.
Right, all right. In the background, you can probably hear Rhodri going, one for you, one for me, one for you.
Right then, Mr. Reed, is there anything in particular that I have to do with this stone other than just wrap it up in your jacket to protect it?
Nothing I've been told, just that... I know how this sounds, just that it had to be you, ma'am. In the meantime, I'd like to do a mundane look at the stone. Is there anything I can see? Are there, wires leading to, canisters sitting nearby or anything?
I'm happy enough to confirm that there is nothing of that nature around this object.
Right, well then, I will lay down Agent Reed's coat. I will very carefully lift the stone. Memory in the real world is completely failing me as to how big the stone of Scone actually is. But she's a good farm girl. I'm sure she should be able to heft it.
What is probably the least surprising roll ever? Please give me a power roll.
I thought you were going to say strength for a second. Oh, that's a 63 out of 60. May I spend 3 points of luck, please, GM? Or is it just not going to matter?
Not an normal success, no.
Okie dokie, I will hang on to my luck for later then.
Rhodri and Nate, you watch Isabelle collapse over the stone. And Mal goes, Auntie Wood! And he runs over and he kind of grabs, starts shaking her.
Yeah, I'm there with him.
Nathan immediately goes to help and then sees Rhodri coming and backs off, lets him take care of his own partner.
You're not... No, this is all wrong. This is not what Mum said would happen. No, Auntie Wood. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Arms under arms, lifting Isabelle off, putting her on the floor, trying to check vital signs. Is she breathing?
She's breathing.
I'm afraid she's dead. No, just kind of making sure that she's comfortable, recovery position, and kind of looking up to Nathan, just going, Nathan, what the bloody hell is going on now? You said she had to touch the stone. She's gone and touched the stone, and now look at her.
Hey, I don't...
Yeah, give me a magic roll there, Rhodri.
59 under 60, just.
Oh, please tell me you're not going to do what I think you're going to do.
You only have the briefest training in magical traps. It's not something that you've spent a lot of time doing, but when Isabelle touched the stone, there was a fairly hefty emission of magical energy. A little like, I blanked the name, demon traps? A little like demon traps. They just explosion of magical energy, and then Isabelle collapsed. But it hasn't blown her apart. And it was really hard to detect. It wasn't obvious. There's a chance maybe you'd have caught it or Nightingale would have caught it, but you suddenly realized there was no way Isabelle was ever catching that. And you have the sudden realization as you look over at Nate that you were about to touch that and you were about to get hit by it. Which leads us to this very odd thing, because there is a sudden tug on your jacket.
I'll turn around, see where the tug is.
There is a small orphan boy looking incredibly out of breath, handing you a letter.
Who are you? Sorry?
And he's just bolted off again.
Right. Thank you. I'm kind of like giving Nathan this look of, I know it would have been me who would have touched the trap and the impact would have been me, but and he's been told what he's been told. But Rhodri can't help but feel that Nathan is responsible for the events that are unfolding, because he's blindly following the orders of the CIA version of the folly.
Nathan's having the exact same thought.
So, yeah, Rhodri is not happy at all. In fact, he's probably crouched down next to Isabelle now with Mile and kind of making sure that Nathan keeps a few steps away. He doesn't really want him near Isabelle in this moment, but he'll kind of read the letter.
The letter reads, Pig, comma, help, exclamation mark, dash, L.
Bloody Leith. Does he want help? Is he going to offer us help? And I'm saying it to Nathan as if he's read the letter. You know, what am I supposed to... Who starts a letter with pig, anyway, you know? Maybe he should try your, flying pig, because of the magic in that. Make it a bit more impressive. But just pig? Who starts a letter with pig? I've had it up to here with Leith and his bullshit, I've bloody took it on the chin all this time. I tell you what, next time I see him, I'm going to give him a bloody... Nathan, are you listening?
Nathan is very much listening. He had a moment of desperately wanting to help, also not wanting to piss off Rhodri. Twice is quite enough, thank you. Also having a moment of how much of this did my bosses know? But I think ultimately his military background has taken over. As far as he can understand from Rhodri, Isabelle isn't actually hurt, just disabled, I guess. Seems like a first step before you pounce. So he is on guard duty, checking the perimeter, checking the horizon, seeing if anything else is waiting for this moment.
Give me an observation roll.
That is a 64 under 70.
You are confident that there is nothing untoward at all in the area, and that probably your job right now is to roll Rhodri, the boy, and the stone back in this car and drive back to Edinburgh. There's probably nothing else here. Isabelle, where did you first meet Patel?
I'm going to say my first day at police college.
Okay. You're standing to attention in an open yard area wearing dress uniform. And there is a young, somber-looking girl beside you who turns and smiles. And then suddenly her smile dims slightly, and she goes, "Izzy?
Anna?
No. No, this is all wrong. It's not meant for you. You're not meant to be... No, I told Miles, no.
Anna, what the hell is going on?
Look, just stay out of it, okay? Everything's fine. I've made a deal, right? Just stay out of it and it'll all be fine."
You've made a deal with who?
You don't need to know.
I do need to know. I'm a police officer. This is what we trained to do.
Yeah, but I was trying to stop the bloody inquisitive magic idiot, not you. Oh, Izzy, why are you... I can't keep you in here. This won't work. Can you just stay here a little while?
Why?
Well, it will...
Oh, Anna, what the hell are you trying to do? I don't necessarily disagree that there's a whole load of stuff that's in museums that needs to go back where it came from, because, let's face it, the British Empire nicked everything that wasn't nailed down and then some. But, what are you doing? Do you really want to upset Lady Forth so that she goes on a total rampage and just totals everything? Because she's not just going to total the entitled,
No, look, I've cut a deal, right? And we don't have to worry about that. She said it's fine, okay?
Who said it's fine? Look, if I'm staying in here anyway, what harm is telling me going to do?
Social roll.
Oh, God. I should have put this one up last time. Come on, dice. Don't let me down. That's a 75 over 60. Can I spend 15 points of luck, or is that not going to be enough?
Definitely, you can spend those 15 points of luck.
Okay, now I just need to do some mathematics. Right, okay, so that is a regular success.
Forth, okay? I made a deal with Forth. And it's fine. I'm going to get away scot-free. No one can stop us. And it's all going to be okay, Izzy? Right? You just need to stay... Just stay out of it, right?
I'm confused. Why is Forth, who really, really wants this coronation to go ahead and is the one who insisted on it, why is she behind you stealing the stone?
No, she wanted the stone back. And she's getting the stone back. All I asked was for her to get... And her whole face scrunches up. Rid of Leith for a few hours?
Oh, why didn't you just say that? I'd have sent the boss in just to go and drink some bookie with him. I mean, he was gone for ages last time. It wouldn't have been that difficult. Could have saved ourselves an awful lot of trouble. Just get the two of them, give them some crisps, give them some bookie, and some McEwens. They'd have been fine.
No, because you're cops, Izzy. That's what we do. We stop people from doing stuff. But there's more to play with here, right? There's things that can go home again. There's things that I can take and I can put in places. I just need to do this. And then she just disappears. Well, Rhodri and Nate, You are driving back across the Queensferry crossing back into Edinburgh. It's been about a 40-minute car journey. Izzy has been mumbling the entire way back, but doesn't really gain consciousness. Mile has been holding her hand the whole way back. Mile has been looking very antsy, getting quite pale, looking a little unhealthy, looking a little not happy. But as you sort of start driving back into Edinburgh, a little bit colour comes back to his face. He starts to look a little bit more almost comically red-cheeked, like a child from a movie. And as you're sort of getting back into the city, he's like, I think Mum said I can't, but maybe I should. What do you think, Uncle Rod?
Well, I mean, I think you should, if that should is, perhaps sharing a bit with us, you might help out your Auntie Izzy, Look at her, Miles, she deserves this. Really cares about you, she does.
No, she's okay. She's just in a memory.
Right, well, that's great. Do you know which memory it is now?
It's one of Mum's strongest memories, because that way I could make it really secure.
Right. And Miles, could you, if you wanted to, could you bring Izzy back? Auntie Izzy, that is.
Social.
Oh, yeah. I've got 30 in social. Welcome back, Izzy.
Oh, 25.
Rhodri Cadwallader in his rolls.
The 5 technically went bouncing out of the dice tray, but it's still 25.
Hey, if it's not on the floor, it still counts.
Rhodri, where are you driving?
I think, I'm not convinced I understand the geography too well, Hedge, so I think the plan was we were heading back towards the manse. I wanted Izzy to rest up, but I was planning, obviously, to stop and see Leith, so I don't know whether that would be on the way or it would be the manse first, then the Banana Flats.
They're both very, very close, so it's totally up to you. You can walk between them.
Okay, so I'd probably go to the manse and then be telling Nathan that he needs to watch Izzy whilst Rhodri would go and find out what Leith was after.
Are you also asking Nate to watch Mile, or are you taking Mile with you to Leith?
Rhodri's got a lot on his mind, Nate. This is...
Oh, God, don't introduce the poor child to Lee. He's already got one slightly dubious parent.
I think because Rhodri owes Leith a favour, he doesn't want to take Mile with him in case Mile becomes a part of that favour. So Rhodri's not that callous or careless. But, he's telling Nathan to do this. It might be that Nathan doesn't do what he's asking him to do. But this is what Rhodri, in his frustrated state, is kind of saying, Nathan, you need to bloody step up and look after Isabelle after what you've done, and then Mile, you're such a good lad, Mile, you're going to stay with Auntie Izzy and make sure she's okay. You do everything you can to bring her back now, because we need her, We can't help your mum, can we, Mile, unless we have Auntie Izzy, because they're friends, you see. Now, when we get back to the manse, you're going to stay there and, have some fruity polos or something. And then I've got to pop out and see a friend. Nate, that friend at Banana Flats.
I remember. I will watch over both of them. He pauses for a second. Rhodri, it is the first time he has ever called you by your proper name. Rhodri, I promise I did not know. Believe me, I will have words with the bosses when I get home. Can you introduce me to your young friend here? Let him know that I'm okay. I'm kind of scary to kids sometimes.
Mile.
He gazes up at you with his big round eyes.
Mile, this is Nathan. Nathan's a friend of ours. Don't be scared of him, just because he's twice the size of me. He's a lovely chap. He's from America,
Where's America?
America, it's across the big water, that is, Mile.
Oh, where we just were.
Even bigger water. I'll tell you all about it.
Oh.
And he gives a smile that is probably creepy to Rhodri, just because it is so warm and effusive out of this huge, intimidating guy. But one of the key things in his background is that he is very good with kids, especially kids who are going through a rough patch.
Oh.
They're usually human, but...
Well, for the purposes of dramatic irony, I think we need to get on with the scene. Rhodri, you find your way to the Banana Flats. You climb the stairs. You step up to that wall that you know so well now. And it's been demolished. You push through the rubble and you walk into what you have always thought of as Leith's throne room.
Yeah.
but it's in violent disarray. The shag carpets piled up for a throne have been knocked around the room. There are just giant gashes on the wall. It reminds you of comic book scenes when two incredibly powerful forces smash together in a small space. Chunks literally torn from the wall, tables smashed. This place has seen violence and it is disorienting to walk through. Give me a sense vestigia.
Yeah. Oh, 16 under 60, so hard success.
You can separate out the various vestigias here, but it is hella work. The smell of the docks and the sheer arrogance of Leith permeates everything. And the other two more recent forces that arrived, they're not fourth, but they are fourth-like. Calm and strong and powerful and regal. And with that hard success, I'll say that you're pretty sure you've met them before. The two ladies that you met when you visited Forth. Did you catch their names?
We caught the name of one of them, definitely.
Almond, yeah.
The other one is Esk.
Esk. Thank you. Do I see any movement? Do I see any person? Do I see anything apart from the devastation of Leith's throne room?
Observation.
I just never roll like this in anything, ever. I've rolled 6. Under 60.
Hard success. Yes, you do. You open one of the cupboards, and inside, sitting huddled, looking slightly terrified, is that little urchin boy.
Hey.
He stares at you.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm here to help.
He shakes his head.
It's all right, you know. This little urchin boy, there was a time when I was running with Leith, and Leith seemed to be running through time. This little orphan boy isn't Leith, is it?
No. You've met this urchin a lot.
Yeah.
He delivers letters and he runs through walls, and he's the one who gave you the letter asking for help.
The note. Pig, help.
And then he ran straight through another wall. You don't know who or what he is.
Yeah.
Apart from that he works for Leith.
Right. You know who I am because you came to me with a letter of help, didn't you? So you know I'm here to help.
He nods.
How can I help here? Give me your hand, you know. I'll help you out of here.
The boy slowly reaches his hand up and grabs yours. Stares at you blankly.
Come on now, it's all right. Let's have you out of this cupboard, shall we? Maybe you can help me find Leith.
Around you, there's a lot of bric-a-brac. There's just so many different things and objects, boxes and bags and crates, shelves all stacked full of dozens and hundreds of different items displayed all over them. Many of them from all over the world, but many more of them just clearly created locally. Prizes and gifts and just hundreds of years of things collected. And he looks around all of them and give me a luck roll, Rhodri.
57 under 64.
And he points at a small box. It's that royal purple engraved with gold decorations all around of it.
I'll go up to the purple box. Does the boy look nervous when I do, or is he just kind of...
No.
It's small enough for me to pick up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's barely 8 inches wide.
Almost like a jewelry box.
Yeah, it's more like a jewelry box.
I'll pick it up and open it.
It's completely empty. But as you snap it shut, he slightly jitters, as if the process of being slammed into something is the important part. And he takes it from your hands and he opens it, and then he just picks up the little piece of wood and he slams it into the box and he slams it shut.
What's happening there? What's happening with this box?
And he shakes his head.
No, you see, if I'm going to help, which is what I want to do, you know, I want to help Leith, I want to help you, I've got to see what's going on, you know. Been a hell of a day. Lots going on, you know. I've already helped one boy today, you know. Be great if I can get 2. Possibly even Leith as well if I have to.
And we're going to just turn away from you for a moment there, and we're going to go back to the parade ground. Isabelle, give me a constitution roll.
Right, I'm switching to the green dice because the blue dice are being little toads again. Oh, con's not my greatest thing, unfortunately. Oh, but that's 30 under 50. Almost a hard success.
Long days standing at parade rest are exhausting at the best of times. And it feels like today is lasting forever. It feels like hours have passed since Patel just disappeared. You're not sure if she was even real or if she was just a memory. But at some point, eventually, a small boy wanders through the crowd and runs up to you.
Is it Mile?
It is Mile.
Hello, sweetheart. What are you doing here?
I don't know what to do. Mum said I had to keep you here. Uncle Rhodri keeps saying mean things about her and says I should let you out. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I know.
I don't think you belong here.
Well, no, your mum said I shouldn't be here.
I don't think you belong here.
No, I don't think I do.
I think you should go home. And you wake up. Your eyes flutter open. You're in the manse. Mile is holding your hand, and Nate is...
Maybe sitting on the floor next to you. He's in the middle of telling Mile about a colony of fairies that live on Staten Island. Some people say that's where the boat was named after. And he sees you starting to arouse. Oh, well, welcome back to the land of the living. You feeling okay?
Oh, I ate like I've been on parade all day. Oh. And she sort of stretches and she's still holding Miles' hand, but she's definitely sort of like doing that whole, when you've been somewhere a long time and things need moving to work out the stiffness.
Yeah, he definitely recognizes that sensation, especially after taking 2 rides in a Volkswagen at his size. Take whatever time you need. Rodney's gone to talk to his friend Leith. Hopefully that's going well.
Oh, I have no idea. He was supposed to touch that trap. He was supposed to be where I've been. They were trying to keep him out of the way to distract Leith or get Leith out of the way as well. I really don't know what Annam and Lady Forth are up to, but they're up to something.
There's a raggedy little boy who gave Rhodri a note, I'm guessing from Leith, just said help, offering help, asking for help. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, the Leith, it could be either. Where is Rhodri?
Rhodri, you are desperately trying to get this child to explain this to you. There are now like 7 different small items sat between you and the boy. And the boy has basically recreated the entire scene. So there's 2 little stick people who walk into the scene. And then there's the big best stick person, which is made up of a bottle of whiskey. And then the 2 little stick people and the bottle of whiskey have a fight. And they like smack into each other a little bit. But then the bottle of whiskey goes down. And then the jewelry box is opened. And the bottle of whiskey is shoved inside and slammed shut. And then the 2 little things take the jewelry box and leave the scene again.
So what you're saying is, Leith, right, was beaten. He was put in a jewelry box, right, like this, and taken away, like, so it's not this jewelry box, is it?
He shakes his head.
But they've got the jewelry box, haven't they? The one with Leith in it, right?
He nods his head.
Right, okay. And I've done a sense vestigia. I'm aware of who it was.
Yes.
Almond-esque. Right, so all I've got to do now, right, if I'm thinking out loud, is, go round to Forth's house, knock on the door, and say, Forth, your daughters have committed multiple acts of violence, broken the law multiple times, and they've kidnapping, and you need to give me Leith, because he's exactly the kind of person we need to protect. I don't know, this feels all very backwards, and I'm just kind of like verbalizing random thoughts to this young boy.
How do the 3 of you meet up again? Do the 2 of you arrive at Banana Flats?
I would say so, because the moment she's heard he's gone off to Leith again, given the fact that people want him and Leith out of the way, she's going to just be really worried, because she already thinks he's never going to survive the night most days. Just kind of like people now actively gunning for him.
At this point, if Isabelle and Nathan arrive, does the little boy stay there or does he kind of disappear?
I like the idea that Isabelle and Nate are going to walk in to this scene where Rhodri is busily arguing that Leith is the sort of person he needs to protect, but has the half-empty whiskey bottle in his hand as he's gesticulating towards this child.
Can I do it with another little bottle, like a little beer bottle or something that's Rhodri? And then there's another one that he's propped up, which is Forth, and he's almost like pretending to have the conversation with a whiskey bottle, a beer bottle, and the other one he's just kind of going, right, because you need to let Leith go. Yeah, because I'm a angry piece of shit and I need to be let go all the time because I'm not a bad fucking genial loci. That's right, you need to be given back to your place, don't you? Forth, what do you have to say about that? As like Isabelle and Nathan kind of walk in as I'm acting out the potential confrontation.
Note to self, maybe this Rhodri fellow is not the one we want to recruit.
Sir, is everything all right? I mean, obviously it's not all right.
Oh my God, Isabelle! He'll kind of run out to Isabelle and just give her a big hug.
She's got no idea how to react to that.
While still holding the whiskey bottle and the beer bottle. Oh God, Isabelle, I didn't know what was going to happen to you. I wasn't sure, but you're fine. Look at you. You're absolutely bloody fine. Cracking, that is. Absolutely cracking, Isabelle. Great work.
Smile with you.
Yes. Yeah, she's not letting Mile out of her sight now.
As you walk into this room, Mile runs up to the little boy and he goes, hello, you don't belong here. And the boy just sort of tilts his head slightly and stares confused. And Mile goes, do you want to go home? I can send you home. And this look of fear appears in the boy's eyes. And he begins shaking his head just so aggressively, like it becomes faster and faster. He looks terrified and he leaps and he grabs onto you, Rhodri. He's actually hiding behind you. No, it's fine. Mum says that everything needs to go home. I can send you home.
No, Mile. Not everything needs to go home.
No.
I'm guessing that from his reaction, that little boy's home was not a nice place. Are you happy here with Leith?
The boy pokes his head out from behind Rhodri's legs and nods his head.
See, Mile, this is the little boy's home now, here with Leith. He doesn't need to go back to where he was originally. That's not a good place for him. He does belong here.
Mile just looks sort of confused, like he's processing that idea. He's not fully got the hang of it yet.
It's hard, I know. Where you come from isn't necessarily where you belong, if that makes sense.
I'm not from round here. It might surprise you, but I'm actually from Wales. But I do feel like I belong here, Not everything belongs where it came from.
Isabelle is keeping a very straight face at this. She's still convinced he's going to get himself killed at some point very soon.
Nathan is just kneeling next to Mile, sort of doing the, I'm here for you. I am, where I was originally from wasn't a very safe place, so I had to find a new home too. It's okay. I'll get to decide where we belong.
Mile's sort of looking at you all. He has this sort of lost look on his face, like a pillar of his understanding is a little bit wobbly, and he's just holding on to Izzy and not saying anything.
No, I'm going to pick him up in my arms and give him a proper cuddle.
So, the three of you are in the heart of Leith. You don't know where Patel is. You know that Forth probably has Leith. And you're not entirely sure what's about to happen. Or are you? What do we know so far, team?
Do we have an opportunity to share and care as well?
Yeah.
So if we've shared all of that information, Rhodri's taking a second. Okay. So Patel, is it you're saying what? Wanted Leith out of the way?
Yes. Apparently, Lady Forth has promised her she can retrieve certain objects and put them back where they belong.
Right, but I mean, he's out of the way now, so do we think that Patel's doing that now, do we?
Possibly. But is it tied to the coronation?
Right.
Or is it separate to the coronation because Forth wants the stone back and wants the coronation? Obviously, Annam wasn't telling that much. I'm surprised I got as much out of her as I did, to be honest.
Why is Forth making deals with Patel?
I have no idea.
Rhodri, you suddenly have a flashback to standing in front of Forth, mentioning that it was a woman named P.C. Patel who had stolen the stone. And you remember a slight look crossing Forth's face as you said that. It was nothing at the time, but now you look back on it and you have this sinking feeling in your stomach that the reason Forth made a deal with Patel is because you told Forth all about her.
You know, sometimes I say things and I shouldn't be saying things, you know. You probably don't know this about me, Isabelle, but sometimes I talk a little bit too much, you know.
Isabelle is still trying to maintain a poker face here and is really struggling. She's really glad she's actually got hold of Mile so she can pretend to kiss his hair and bury her face when it starts to crack.
Nathan does not have that advantage, but he is doing his very best espionage training. Hide your feelings, keep up the mask.
Right, well, there's a few courses of action that lay before us here, and I'd like to hear any other options and then anything that you think might be, priority. Number 1, we find and stop Patel. Number 2, we go and rescue Leith from Forth and her daughters. That one doesn't sound like that's going to be that successful. Number 3. Nathan, Isabelle, number 3.
Well, to be honest, sir, I don't think number 2 is a very good idea. We're definitely not a match for Lady Forth and her daughters. I think that's a future problem that we may need London assistance with. But, Mile, do you know where your mum is?
He sort of stares at you for a second, as if he's away somewhere. Yes, she's near me. Just above me. Just north. I think you call it Chamber Street.
Would you like to go and see your mum?
I don't think she'll be very happy if we do that,
Why not?
because she's putting things back where they belong. Isabelle, Chamber Street is where the National Museum of Scotland resides. And between you and the National Museum is the Old Town, which has been completely closed down by an insanely large police presence for the coronation.
Oh, and we've still got Stone for that, haven't we? Probably take that back at some point.
Is our little urchin still there?
Yes.
Leith's little chappie. Do you have a name?
He looks at you with his big eyes and he shakes his head.
Would you like a name?
He cocks his head. And then there's one single nod.
Right, well, that's an easy thing, isn't it? Finding you a name. You're such a good lad, you've been very helpful,
He smiles and there are 2 sharp teeth in his mouth.
Oh, Spike. How about Spike, Is that name you like?
He cocks his head and then he nods slightly more enthusiastically.
Spike! It's about time you had a name, Spike, I've seen you around now. I think we'll be firm friends, you and I. Spike. You do that thing where you just very clever, very clever. You just disappear, don't you? Go from one place to the next. Is that what happens?
He cocks his head and then he shakes it.
Ah, right, okay. So you go through things, like you blend through the walls and that. Is that what happens?
And then he shakes his head again.
Right. I think he can only get to where he's delivering a message.
Could we send a message back to Leith?
Or to Patel.
To Patel.
Or Patel?
I'm going to write a message. I'll get my notebook out and rip out this page, fold it up 3 or 4 times, and then hold it to him and say, if we asked you to deliver this message to Patel, could we come with you as you deliver the message?
I like this. It's a cool idea and I want it to happen, but I definitely think it has to have the potential to fail to be interesting. Let's combine 2 roles together. So the boy is up for it. So he's nodding his head. He's going to take the note from you. And what I'll need from Rhodri and Isabelle are magic rolls. And then Nate.
Nathan has an expert skill in tracking.
Tracking is interesting. Let's put a pin in that. Give me a power roll.
Okay, that's a 97 over 60.
That's fine. That's just a fail.
For the magic roll, I got 44 under 60.
I got 86 out of 60. I mean, I could spend 26 points of luck, but that would leave me with virtually nothing.
Boy runs through the wall. Rhodri follows, disappearing into nothing. But then Isabelle, when you go to run through the wall, you slam into it. Take 1 point of damage.
Oh.
And Nate, you just stare. You've seen weird shit before, haven't you? But you realize that Rhodri is going somewhere that you simply cannot follow. And that is where we will end this episode. We got some really beautiful, tender moments there.
We did, didn't we? And this is one of the really interesting things about Rivers of London, is that it seems to bring that out in players.
Fantastic.